Hey folks, I am Snuffleupagus, and this is Fury of Dracula, and I have just found out about this game, kind of last minute, but it is another Fury of Dracula Duos and Dark Call tournament game, and we're going to YOLO this and stream it on the fly, because of that, it's just me, no co-commentator, but that's okay, if you're watching this, you're a person, you're with me in spirit, and we'll check out the action together. Yep, cool. Everything's working. We're going. So this tournament game is between Skybreaker, who's been in the community a while, playing hunters. His team, Plotting a Punch, is having a rough go in this first third of the tournament. Um, but he's got a chance to kind of climb back up the table with this game. His opponent, CombatWombat, is new to the Fury of Dracula digital community. His teammate is also new. They are also having kind of lower on the table, but they're kind of making their way up, and they're not at the bottom, and they got plenty of room to run, and they've got some great wins. And yeah, it's going to be a great game. Either one of these teams can make a run up the table. 2/3 of the tournament to go. It's going to be a great competitive match. I haven't seen the very beginning of this because I'm hopping in last second, but I do know that Mina's showing a stake and good luck. I do know that there was a scan, and Dracula is in Austro-Hungary, at least as of, I think, yesterday. So this space up here is in one of these dark red dots other than the one that Mina and Godalming are in. Interesting to start so close. It's bold. It's also interesting that Skybreaker is starting in Budapest. I feel like the most common thing to do is to have 200s in Vienna. Budapest, I guess, makes you a little closer to the extremities down here. A little bit more difficult if Drac for an Amsterdam, but it's kind of moot because we know that Drac was in Austro-Hungary. There are a few other players that do stuff other than start in Vienna. Like I think Wormtail intends to start in Munich. Somebody else in the community used to split their hunters between Munich and Vienna. I don't think I've ever seen someone do Budapest as their starting city, but interesting. I see a couple people in the chat. If you are in the chat, say hello and I'll say hi back. Looking forward to seeing where Drac is. It's got to be nice to have this scan and know that he was in Austro-Hungary. So even if you don't get newspapers, if you're Skybreaker, you can mill about a little bit and probably find the trail. So if his second space was in Austro-Hungary, my guess is that maybe he did like Galatz, Klausenberg, or maybe he did Sofia and then is booking it west. So maybe it was like Sarajevo. If we see another scan, we may get a little bit more clarity on the possible options. What else is interesting so far? One stake discarded. Mina has a second. Harker was either used for a search or made a ally and then discarded for Agatha. Certainly can't blame anyone for taking Agatha over Harker, particularly when you already know that Dracula is or was in Austro-Hungary. Sky moved Seward up early, which, since you know Drac is over here somewhere, you may as well. I'd almost be tempted to block the way west just in case. Maybe Seward can do that shortly. We see another scan. Okay, he's no longer in Austro-Hungary. So he was in Austro-Hungary, then he left. What could that mean? This is some pure speculation on my part. I'm going to say, ooh. I was going to say maybe Galatz, Klausenberg, but then he couldn't go out from there, so Maybe Belgrade, Klausenberg, Glatz? I don't know. What could that be? Constanza, Bucharest, Belgrade, Sofia? I don't know. I guess that wouldn't work for the timing. Athens, Valona, Sarajevo, Sofia? Something else? Something really weird like Berlin, Prague. Okay. Sarajevo. Okay, so maybe it was that Athens, Valona, Sarajevo out thing I was thinking. Let's see here. No ambush. Going with the Scott Sword, ambushes are overrated approach. We'll see if Konami goes and searches that or lets it ride for now. I'm going to toss a link to this in the Nomad Discord. Alright. So hunters are moving fast. I wonder if that's just to kind of trap track in, or if there's a trade that needs to happen, or... I guess if you're Skybreaker, maybe you're thinking let's just have them meet up and then keep supplying in Paris. Better supply together than apart. I don't know. That could work. So what's Mina gonna do? She should probably just stick around and supply. But unless she joins Godalming, she's gonna lose her ability to keep on scanning. But I have to imagine that Skybreaker knows which way Drac went, so you probably don't quite need the scan. Be helpful, but not mission critical. Okay. Just make sure I didn't miss anything else. No. I may have missed a Mina trade at the very beginning. I can't say for sure. Good luck. Okay. Rats. Does he have a gun? Nope. Well, it's a minor inconvenience. It's not a bad place for rats. I mean, certainly if you're CombatWombat, you probably want some big, you know, big reveal at the beginning of like a rumored Vamp mature or a hoax mature, but if you have a trash hand, putting rats in Sarajevo ain't too bad because it just is a space the hunters tend to have to land on a lot. Or intentionally avoid through a very inefficient route, so it's honestly not a bad place to have rats lurking around. I guess my question with this is, how long does Drac want to stay in the East? We know CombatWombat had... Oh, Dark Call. Okay, what's he got? Okay. No prompt to use it. So... that... Oh, okay, Hidden Schemes. He is going to use it. Not the greatest draw you could have, but... if he is in Sofia... or, I'm sorry, if he was in Sofia last turn, it's not a bad space to have that, because it's, you know, there's a lot you can put there. You can put in bats to move hunters the wrong way, or it's a small city, so you could do a double spy or a spy bodyguard combo that can be quite effective, so that's not a bad spot for it. Okay, newspapers. Belgrade start, okay. So Belgrade, Sarajevo, I guess then Sofia, or it could be Valona. Um, Interesting. Either way, that's a good spot to have a double encounter. It's out of the way, annoying to get to. And if there's a hide there, oh, I was gonna say it could really hurt Godalming. So Godalming is leaving now. I wonder if that's to facilitate a trade, or maybe Godalming just realizes he's not well equipped to deal with the Strail. But then why go into Sarajevo? I don't know. Hey, Terminus is here. Sophia's the first location he will probably lair. Yeah, you could be right about that. I missed the very beginning, so I don't know if that's the first location or not. I do know that the thing that is after Sarajevo was not in Austro-Hungaria because he was scanning at Sarajevo and then at the one after. So if he did start in Sofia, that means he went to Valona and is now either in uh, Salonika or Athens. But if he didn't start in Sofia, if he started in like Bucharest or something, then he could have gone to Sofia and could be over here somewhere. Also, hi, hi to you as well. Good Tuesday evening. So, yeah, I really wonder why Sky decided to kind of go into Sarajevo and then backtrack. Maybe he felt that, hey, I needed to figure out where this trail was, and then once he found it, he felt comfortable kind of going back, knowing that he can get to wherever he needs to. Like Mina can get there. Yeah, we'll see. Will Mina try to clear Belgrade? Hmm. If he did start in Bucharest, then it will be possible to get back there once it falls off and is layered. He he could yeah, he could go there next turn. Yeah, if he either went Valona then Sofia or did a hide. Combat has become a fan of layering in the east. Yeah, well, if it gets you a big win against Met King, it can get you a big win against anybody. Don't if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I wonder if that, budding reputation is the reason Skybreaker decided to start with Mina and Godalming in Budapest rather than in Vienna. Maybe he's been kind of watching the tapes, so to speak, and has seen that CombatWombat favors that and moved over a little bit to kind of check at the Eastern start a little bit. Speculating. If hunters do not try to stop him layering, Terminus says, we will see like 2,500 layers. Maybe, maybe. Um, there's been a little bit of early movement, so relative to where things are normally, the hunters might be a little undersupplied for this point in the game, just because um, Helsing moved down early and Seward moved up. So there probably will need to be some more supplying. Okay, we have a lair. Yeah, the nice thing about that lair spot is you can wolf over the hunters if they get close to you, or... Okay. So he did not go back to that lair yet. That makes me wonder if maybe he went Sofia, it's Bucharest, Belgrade, Sarajevo, Sofia, and then went to Varna. So we couldn't go back to Bucharest just yet. That's a possibility, I think. It's also possible they started in Klausenberg, I suppose. I don't know if there was a scan the turn he was in Klausenberg. If so, I didn't see it. Okay. Standard Wreath discard, and we got Rufus. So now all three allies have been drawn. Interestingly, Skybreaker takes Rufus over Aggie. I think that makes sense, particularly if you think that he is on the Black Sea coast right now. You can kind of comfortably assume you're going to get some extra damage out of that. Um, and if he has surprising return, he can always change it back later. Even if he doesn't have surprising return yet, there's two of them, so decent chance of drawing it at some point. Okay, Mina's taking the train to go clear Belgrade. Interesting thing about that is if she searches the night and it's a bat, Dracula could go to Bucharest if it is the lair, place the third thing on the lair and have Mina be batted during the day onto Dracula and 3 encounters, which would be absolutely crazy. Oh, surprising return already. Huh. That's a little strange. I wonder what to make of that. So I guess if he were in Athens, he would have had to hide somewhere here. Hmm. Yeah, I wonder if that was meant to see whether there's a real fear of being batted. Um, but I feel like you need to search this anywhere, notwithstanding that risk. I think. Because if it's a hoax or something, you really do want to clear it, even with only 5. But and bats is such an unusual start. It's not unheard of, but I don't know. That's a tough predicament. I do think there's a serious non-zero chance that there is a bat, and it's going to bat into a lair and it could be a catastrophe for Mina. But also, if it's anything other than bats, you really do want to search it. Stake, okay. It's a mob. Alright. Not too bad. Discards the stake. This is odd. So that means there's 2 stakes gone. Mina has 2 items. I wonder why you take that approach. I guess maybe the hunters really think they're gonna fight Drax soon, and so the health is more important than having the stake. But that would only make sense to me, you know, if you drew some really good early events, like an RVCG type thing, and you were confident that you could get multiple hunters onto Drac for an early combat. Even then, I'm not sure that's the right approach because Drac can escape very early right now. But, okay. And he has gone back to the lair. I thought you got to place a 3rd one. Oh no, it didn't have anything under it to begin with. Okay. So, I think that confirms the trail then. He's in Bucharest right now. Are we going to see an early fight? It seems unlikely, but why else would you discard the stake for the 1 extra health point? So I'm just going to have to deal with two encounter spaces in very tough cities, right, that block off the Black Sea coast that the hunters are going to want to go to in the center of the east. It's a tricky spot. The hunters are not on big cities, so they can't just supply more and let the trail clear. Um, I mean, there's 15 items left, so who knows what the other 2 hunters have if they're in a position to start moving. But also, if the hunters start going to Sophia, there is some chance they're not going to have what they need to deal with it. Okay. That doesn't help Godalming at all. I'm thinking you go back to Budapest and supply more with that, or... Okay, Sujed. Maybe you could rail to something useful? That makes sense. It's a tricky spot. I wouldn't be surprised to see CombatWombat hide next. Make Bucharest that dangerous. Okay, sewage coming. Yeah, maybe he is thinking direct aggression. Um, if that's the case, CombatWombat can probably just... Oh, scout. That's helpful. That'll negate a hide. Okay. No surprise there. So at this point, Drac could go to Sarajevo, risk a 2v1. He could wolf to Valona or Salonika and see if the hunters try to jump on him. They need some, like a renewed vigor to get a favorable 2v1 or 3v1. Um, think I'd probably wolf to Valona here. Possibility that it goes really poorly, but um, you do need a way out of this position. And I think with Valona, you have the flexibility to either go to C next or go back to your lair. Are we still on Godalming? Okay. He must have been thinking about whether he wants to try to draw a yellow 2 ticket to have more movement. It's my guess. It's obviously not what you want to make your horse economy worse, but that would be helpful here. Or maybe he was thinking about improving his horse economy but had some other alternatives. It's a good spot for an early CG play. Yeah, a lot of thinking on these night phases, which is making me thinking he probably drew CG early. Because otherwise, these moves don't take that much thought. It's just, you know, take tickets if your horse economy is not good yet on each hunter, and if it's fine, then you usually just pass. Okay. Or maybe he's dwelling on it just because he wants Drac to think he has CG. Thing is, if he did have CG, given the item deck, he probably doesn't have all the Heavenly Host tokens. If you had all the Heavenly Host tokens, I'd be tempted to play CG now, even though it's early. You know, put a token in Sevilla, the CG token here, and then HH tokens in Constanta, Bucharest, and Belgrade? Yeah, in Belgrade. And then let him go to Galatz or Klausenberg or Wolf to Budapest. See if you can get, kind of pen him in. I wonder if the hunters have CG but don't have all the HH, the Heavenly Host yet. It's my speculation based purely on the long night phases. Okay. Unsurprisingly, Dracula has laired Sarajevo and its rats. Huh. No wolf form. Interesting. He's rumored Bucharest. So no wolf form means he's either in Klausenberg or Galatz. Either way, he's backed into a corner. Um, tricky. But the tricky thing about that for hunters is if they fight him, will they be prepared for it? Also, Mina is showing a stake, even though she already discarded one. Which I guess explains why she discarded the one. Also showing a speedy telegraph. So Mina has at most one weapon. Maybe Dracula saw that before I did, and is thinking, okay, Mina can't really get to me unless this other event is something movement related. Okay, Godalming is moving. Okay, and they're going to clear trail. Alright, that's a win for Dracula. If they go to clear trail, he can kind of move out west, do some damage, and it's a bats. So he's not even going to get to clear the other encounter. And he can choose to either bat Godalming into Bucharest, which I have to imagine has at least one vamp, probably two. You have a good chance of doing some serious damage to Godalming despite his high health, or even maybe getting a bite or a kill. We're not even sure that... Okay, Seward's moving. Actually, I have to imagine if you're CombatWombat, you probably want to take the move to bat Godalming into the double space in Bucharest, if it is two vamps, two fighting vamps, just for the chance of getting some bites in. But the downside to that is you're moving him towards a space he needs to clear. You might prefer to push him onto the lair, but that lair is a place you might want to go. So there's some trade-offs. If CombatWombat were in Valona right now, okay. So right now, CombatWombat is in a corner in Galatz, but he could probably wolf to his Belgrade lair with relative impunity. Or even go to the castle and then do so. Not that he really needs the healing, but I mean the castle is annoying for the hunters to clear. Okay, he is going on to Bucharest, so I'm guessing there's double vamp here. New vamp? Okay, nothing. Alright, so if I'm CombatWombat, I'd be tempted to go for the bite. Or, I guess the other alternative is to just focus on damage with claws. And if you get lucky, if you nail multiple claws, you can create an opportunity for the second vamp to get the kill in. Or you could, I don't know, claw. Okay, punch into a claw is a big win for Dracula. So I guess he thought the strat was going to be go for the bite, and it was not. Yeah, nail one more claw and you can feel really good about the potential killing opportunity. Fang. Escape. Okay. So Godalming has lost half his health. Yeah, the other interesting thing about this is that whatever is in Sophia is going to mature. So if this thing in Sophia is something that deals damage, Godalming could die even if he survives this combat. Planned ambush. Okay. That should help him out quite a bit. So I guess in that circumstance, what do you do as the Reckless? I guess you either mesmerize and get heavily hosted, or you Fang and he gets away, or Claw and he gets away. I guess you Claw. Okay, or Fang. I assume there's an escape here. Oh, a knife. He's going to try to fight it. Okay. Well, we'll have to see what happens with the rest of this combat. If CombatWombat can deal some more damage, that might be worth it even if he loses the vamp. This is a tricky position for Godalming, though, because, if combat tries to strength, like, it's very helpful to kill him here, but it's not if it's going to put you in a position for Godalming to die. Mesmerize. Dodge, okay. Now what do you do here? Do you strength? Do you play claws or fang? Mesmerize again? This vampire might be a wee bit expendable for the Wombat. Both players seem to be thinking long and hard about this one. It's a tough call. Okay. Mesmerize again. He gets the escape. So the guessing game continues then. Now, I have to imagine you strength here, right? If you have it. Because you... Like, if you could try plotting, but it's not actually going to get you anywhere because, you plot against the dodge, then you cancel the escape, then he just dodges again. So given that plotting doesn't matter, you want a strength. Because if you play anything else and he doesn't, I mean, if you play it against the dodge, it doesn't do anything. If you play it against anything else, it keeps you alive. Yeah. So now at this point, you can play strength again if you think you're going to die. Otherwise, you play your claw or you play your fang. If you have something that's damaging that's about to mature, a claw is probably better. If not, maybe you try to keep the vamp alive a little longer. You go for the fang. Mindful of the fact that you could get knifed. Fang. Into the knife. Okay. That's unfortunate for the Wombat. Good fight. Yeah, I agree. Very good fight. Very good fight for both parties. It's a tough guessing game. So at 5 health, I have to guess that Godalming is probably not going to die here. What's that though? Well, it was an entertaining fight, if nothing else. So I'm trying to think of the possibilities for the Sophia Mature to kill Godalming. If you had, I'm not sure that it's possible with 5 health. Because if you have double mob, you can discard down. If you have, I guess if you do mob first and then wolves, you could force Godalming to discard something to ensure his safety. Yeah, I think that's the only potential way to get the kill is if it's mob and Godalming doesn't discard something, and the second one is wolves and he only has a knife to reveal. I think that's the only way Godalming could be killed here. And if you do have that, situation, it'd be tempting to walk on a Godalming, but then you'd lose your rumored vamp. So I have to imagine he's probably not going to do that. If you can't kill Godalming with this Mature, maybe you layer it and then you wolf onto it. Create some fear in the part of the hunters to jump on you, especially when Godalming is delayed. Looks like that may be the approach. Oh, it's funny how it's not even revealed. Did I miss something? Oh, I thought. Oh, maybe I made a mistake. I'm just seeing this now. Okay, so he didn't go around the Black Sea coast. He went to Valona, Salonika, Sofia, Bucharest, and then Galatz. And now he's hiding in Galatz. So Valona is a fortress. He's gonna want to go back there if he can. I don't know how I misread that trail. So he's hiding in Galatz. I wonder why. Is he hoping to get jumped on? Skybreaker can kind of just put himself on the good spots. You know, CombatWombat's lairs are not going to matter if he can't get to them. And if the Wombat is... he could be forced to feed next. I don't know. Even if there's like... I guess if he has double fog here, he can feel fairly comfortable, but otherwise, I'd be a little nervous. New vamp. The thing is, even with undersupplied hunters, if he had to move off that space, which he eventually would, he could have 3 hunters jump on him, using Speedy Telegraph, have the most well-armed hunter go first. Alright, so this is going to be a get out as quickly as you can sort of thing for the hunters. Okay, classic mesmerizing the escape. Now the classic, do we plot, do we punch? Do we plot to punch? Do we dodge to plot? Do we... Ooh. Plot? And a punch. Hey, that's the name of the team. And a fang, and an escape. Fairly standard. So those rumor vamps are going to be gone. And Dracula is going to be in a fairly tight spot, but with some monster lairs to go back to if he can get back to them. wonder if the next thing to mature would be a hoax. That might give Drax some confidence because he could get an Unearthly Swiftness or Darkness Returns and get back to his Valona lair. See this long pause again on Seward. He has to have consecrated grounds. But, I mean, assuming this is not a hoax, I think you... Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think you want to play it just yet. Because you can use it to trap him after he uses the wolf form. You know, better to use it after the wolf form than before. Rufus is still in play, so wolfing to Constanta, while possible, is going to be painful. It would cause 1 for the wolf. Oh, yep, there's the stake. 3, 4, 5 damage at minimum for that sea voyage. I have to assume we'll see a feed here. If we don't, the hunters will be sorely tempted to strike. Feed then Darkall? I don't know. I don't know. Just thinking about maturing versus layering. Is it a hoax? Well, Combat's thinking long and hard about this mature or lair. Oh. He removed Sarajevo as a lair, so I assume he's making Salonika a lair? Wait a second. I've been assuming he's in Galatz this whole time, but since he didn't go to Black Sea Coast as I originally thought, he doesn't have to be in Galatz, which is actually probably far more likely that he's not. He could be in hiding in Constanta or in Varna right now, which would be better for him. I'm missing some pretty obvious things here, so sorry about that. Um, so what do the hunters do with that information? Supply some more. I guess they need to figure out whether he went around the coast or went to Galatz. Assuming you went to the coast, you probably want to block off Sophia before it becomes a lair? Actually, I'm confused. Sarajevo was taken. Oh, Godalming discards horse and rifle. Not adjacent to any hunters. Okay, so that confirms he is in Varna. Um, because anything else, any other space he could be in would be adjacent to them. Also, the Sarajevo lair was removed, but there wasn't a new lair placed in Salonika. So it makes me wonder if that was eliminated for nothing. It also makes me wonder if Valona had a hide card, and that's why we didn't see a mature or a new lair. But I don't know why you would need to remove a lair to bring that about. Like, there's no reason you couldn't have kept Salonika on there. So I'm a little confused about that. Also, I'm not sure why there was a move to Klausenberg. I think I'd rather step on the lair in that situation. Just to at least be moving towards Dracula. Unless you have a really critical trait and, like, Sewer doesn't have weapons or something. You know? But then again, just Godalming discarded a horse, so surely that can't be the case. Weird situation. You have to do so much speculating when you're a spectator. Spectators speculate. And the thing is, Seward going to Klausenberg might tempt Drac all the more to just wolf to Valona and hop on that mega lair. Although I guess if he could also just hide here and feel fairly comfortable where he is. I don't know. I guess it depends on what's under Valona and what's under his current spot. I mean, if you wolf to Valona and you don't get jumped on, you might even hide in Valona. Terminus is saying he thinks Drac stays in Galatz. Yeah, um, that may be an explanation for that move. Um, I have to imagine the evil presence would have told him that he's not, but I mean, it took me way too long to realize that the Black Coast was even a possibility. So I'm not going to judge Skybreaker too harshly, but I don't know. I don't know. It's so easy to get tunnel vision when you fixate on one possibility. You start to miss the other options. So Drac is probably thinking about whether he wants to wolf form or hide, or go to sea. I don't think I would go to sea in this position. He takes the wolf form option. And he does go to Valona. Okay, so he now has returned to a lair. It has 4 cards on it. He could hide and add a 5th card to that space. It's going to be very scary for the hunters. If those are all damaging encounters, it could be, an instant death for a hunter. Especially with Godalming and Mr. Bulky not at full strength yet. So, what to do about that lair? If they are all damaging encounters, you can ignore it. If they're all vamps, I mean, you could probably just take the loss and just let it, lose the influence. The only problem for you is if it's a mix of vamps and damaging encounters and like a hoax. Because then if you purely ignore it, you get the hoax mature and you have the vamp mature, and that's just doubly problematic. Like if he had two vamps, a bat or fog, and a hoax, or maybe had three vamps, damaging encounter, hoax, or excuse me, two vamps, damaging encounter, hoax, and then like hides under fog, that could be a huge, huge problem. Yeah, so good to have wax cylinders here. Yeah, wax cylinders would be OP in this position if you could find out what all four of those are in one fell swoop. Yeah, yeah, I agree. That is probably the most optimum use of wax cylinders possible. I assume Drac would want to go to Athens after this. Could also hide in Athens or hide now. Probably hide now. Or he can just start a sea voyage. But if the hunters do indeed have consecrated ground, which I'm guessing maybe they do purely from the long night phases, you could technically safely go to Venice and not get nuked, but it's possible the hunters could dart back your way if you did that. So I have to imagine if you're a Drac, you gotta go Valona, stay in Valona, hide. Dark Call maybe here. Dark Call would be great right here, actually. Dark Call hide Athens or Dark Call Athens hide. Oh wow, yeah, I was not paying enough attention. Yeah, Godalming discards a horse and now a knife. What is he keeping? Is he drawing all the heavenly hosts and nobody else has, and he's intentionally keeping them for his CG? I've had situations where I drew CG early and it really affected my play in negative ways, as it made me. Okay, yep, we knew that. As it made me like reluctant to play optimally because I was trying to hold on to the heavenly host token, or the heavenly host items. I wonder if that's what's going on here, but if it is, I'm not sure it's worth it. Even though you're getting close to a reshuffle, I mean, discarding a horse and a knife, it's kind of wacky. We do see the Dark Call. We draw another Drac event. And what one will this one be? And the thing is, we're not seeing the event played yet, but that Dark Call means that Dracula almost certainly has at least one fog if he didn't already. So you may as well hide under fog here. Even if a hunter forewarns the fog, well then you're killing a forewarns. Hmm. Sophia's now a lair. So what do hunters do? Looks like for now they're clearing trail. Waiting to ambush. This is the first rumor we've seen, I think. So there should be another rumor token to spare. So after the hide, um, I presume we'll see the Wombat rumor the Mega Lair here. I wonder if he is... Okay, he's horsing. He's probably thinking about whether to go to Sophia and encourage the move to C, or just assume it will happen regardless, and like start moving west. Is my guess as to what he's thinking. I think you probably have to move to Sophia. Oh, okay. I guess Sophia could be a batch and could batch you into the death layer, so. But yeah, the thing is, yeah, if the hunters are not all east like this, Drac doesn't necessarily have to go to sea yet. So I guess you do need to keep Seward around to keep the pressure on until he leaves. He's just gonna keep supplying. Never a bad idea. Okay. So he can get batted onto Bucharest, Lair, or Varna. I assume it will be Bucharest. That does mean that Sophia is safe from bats. So if you do need to step on it, it'll be bad to step in a lair, but you won't get batted onto the mega lair in Valona, so that's something. I'm kind of curious as to what Godalming has, given his weird discards. Might be nice to put a spy there, given that he's discarded so much. Yep, and there's the rumor token. Very tricky situation for the hunters. The Wombat has laid a fearsome trap here in Valona. They don't call him CombatWombat for nothing. That is a combative style of play. And a mob. I like it. hitting 3 hunters. It's going to be a royal pain, and going to make it all the more difficult to clear Valona. Now, Seward is there, so they can all heal a little faster. But they presumably would want to move, start testing Valona, maybe dealing with whatever is in Varna. Just going to make all of that a little slower. Yeah, ouch indeed. Yeah, I agree. I'm intrigued by Lord Godalming's hand too. The game passes the other hunters. You took 3 on all, right? Or did you reveal the others? You don't need to reveal on mob. You may be confusing the effect with horses. I'm not going to chime in because it's a tournament game. Sky can chime in. Okay. Looks like damage, all good. Yep. It is damage. He did not discard any items. Mina showing a rifle. So what does Seward do now? Supply. Makes sense to me. Yeah, their supplying must have been totally off kilter. About to go into week 3. That's also kind of a big deal. Hmm. I think if I'm Skybreaker, after healing tonight, I think, okay, scouts, that's helpful. I presume it's, yep, okay. Not a surprise to see the hide, but good to have it confirmed. I think next turn I might, after you heal tonight, maybe set up shop in Sarajevo, Sofia, just to pressure Drac to leave. If he leaves by sea, great. Um, if he moves one more, maybe you can jump on him in a different place. I think if you can make him go west, then I think I would just ignore Valona. Awful though it will be. But if Dracula stays around and you can't jump on him that turn, then you're screwed. Because he'll be getting well ahead of you. You know, he can trigger all the damaging stuff across the region or nearby, whatever the card says. I think, yeah, I think next turn if I'm Hunters, I set myself up in a position to either to really do anything, right? Just circle Valona, force him to leave, and then maybe have one person clear Varna, then start moving. I don't know, it's tricky. I guess even if you start going west and he pulls back around to the Black Sea, as long as you don't get hit by the damage from whatever's under here, it's not the worst thing in the world. I think you gotta force him to go to sea and then ignore Valona. I think that's what you have to do. Okay, he's gone to sea now. So yeah, maybe send one hunter to clear Varna and then start moving. Speedy telegraph hypnosis might be helpful as well. The tough thing for the hunters, timing-wise, or one of the tough things, is that Drac will get this wolf form back when he's ready to wolf out after 3 sieve movements. So I'm not sure. If you... If Drac... If the hunters have CG and Money Trail, we know they have Speedy Telegraph, they might be in an okay spot to like force him to take damage from CG. Because if he lands now, he's gonna, be local rumors. If he lands now, obviously he's gonna be he can't wolf, so he'll be. I guess he can't get nuked in Venice, but he can get hurt. Given where the hunters are, yeah, he could put himself in a difficult situation if he lands now. If he goes 2 turns, same deal. He'd have to land either in Athens or Salonika, which again is very dangerous from a CG perspective. If he goes 3 to Black Sea, same deal. If he goes 3 to Turanian, he'd be in a bad spot if he landed with just 1. Cag is safe. But then like the hunters know where you're going. You would have taken all that damage. And the hunters can just kind of book it west and start dealing for wherever you land. And if you wolf from Turanian, similar deal. Yeah, I think the hunters just need to... Oh, they didn't send anybody to deal with Varna. So I guess that will mature. Yeah, I think they need to start ignoring this. Although if they don't have all the cards they need, it, it's also not unreasonable for them to take the approach they are and keep supplying. Okay, we're maturing, and it's fog. Interesting. I think you fog their, yep, you fog their space. So they're not going to start moving and chasing you. So I guess in that situation, since they're in fog, you may as well just land in Venice. And if you have to take a 1v1, so be it. Yeah, there you go. And you rumor that to make it a little more dangerous. Now the one risk here is if Helsing is able to get a good combat in and then use Heroic Leap. But Drac will be able to feed next turn, so I'm not sure how great that would be. I mean, if Helsing is really well equipped with like bullets and heavenly hosts, maybe it's okay. I guess if you play CG now and you have the heavenly host tokens sorted properly, you can force Drac to walk onto Helsing. He could take a good day combat and then use Heroic Leap in the Dust combat to kill Dracula that way. That would be the one way to really turn this around for the Hunters. Otherwise, they're in an awful position. If they have that particular set of events, I think they'd be in a decent spot, despite all the way it looks. If they had Heroic Leap on Helsing and they had perfectly arranged CG, this actually wouldn't be too bad. Other than that, awful. And they had the right arms on Helsing. Like the perfect situation would be like planned ambush, Heroic Leap, and I don't know what else. Lucky Find, maybe? No, I guess that wouldn't matter. I don't know, something like that. Drac is going to get his wolf form back after this, so if you don't have that particular play, I don't know what other opportunity you're going to be able to get. Drac can just, if you don't CG him now, Drac can walk to Genoa, and then if he gets CG there, he can go back to sea. If he doesn't, he can either go to Marseille or Wolf. He'll have just so much distance. The other thing that would be interesting is if these guys are all stuck here. Um, are they going to get hit with whatever's in Valona? I guess they're all healed up, so how much damage could it really do? But be interesting. So maybe we'll see a trade here, even if you don't have the play I'm contemplating. Getting some combat stuff onto Helsing is probably important. because if you don't have the CG play, you'd probably want to, you know, have Helsing jump on Drac and just try to do something. You know, no matter how poor the odds are, just to try to throw a Hail Mary and kill him. Um, and so if you don't have the CG play, you'd want to like he'll probably feed. If you do, obviously you want like a planned ambush. Okay. All right. Will we see the CG? That's the big question. And if we do, will it matter? Seward, I think he'd be the one to have it. Do we see it? Consecrated ground. Force Drac onto Helsing. I feel like we might see it. He's been having all these long night phases. Oh, the suspense. He's got to have it, right? You got to pull the trigger. If I'm Sky, I pull the trigger. No, I guess not. Okay. Oh, there is the CG. It's on Helsing. I. Oh, but you know, Drac has a card. What if that card is? What if that card is Devilish Power? Heavenly Host for Seward. Heavenly Host for Mina. Oh, so Helsing doesn't have one of the tokens. That's huge info for Drac. Um, so if Drac has Devilish Power, he can just stay there where he is and feed, and Helsing will have to come to him. If he doesn't have Devilish Power, he'll jump onto Helsing. Is that Strider? Strider? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Hear me?
Yeah, are you watching this?
Oh yeah, I got to get into the Steam because I was watching your video
Oh, sweet.
earlier. So
So,
I saw he's forcing Drac into Van Helsing.
yeah, but we don't know what Drac's event is. So there's a lot of outs for Drac here. If it's Devilish Power, you can feed in Venice and force Helsing to come to him. If it's, Unearthly Swiftness or Darkness Returns, that'll help. So we're going to have to see here what Drac's card is.
Cool.
If
I am getting in. Well, if it's
Sweet.
a feed, then the good news for him is you can't hide because it's revealed.
I actually, in hindsight, think maybe the first token should not have gone on Venice. I'm not sure where it should have gone, but um,
All right, I'm jumping in now.
yeah, nice. So, I
No,
mean,
no influence so far. It looks like a hunter's game.
no, there's no influence. There's this Mega Lair in Valona, uh, plus the hide that CombatWombat was able to create, and it's about to mature. So if so really, Sky has this one shot, and it is Devilish Power. Okay. Yeah, if I were Sky, I'd be kicking myself for putting the CG token in Venice. But I guess he probably felt like he had to, because if it was in Bari, he'd be really regretting it. Um, so I can see why he did it, right? Because if you did one in like Munich first or something, and then you put one in Venice second, and it was Bari, then you couldn't force him back to Adriatic.
Oh my
So
god, I'm looking at that layer now. There are 4 cards on it.
plus the hide, so it's really 5, and it's about to mature.
Well, the hide can't mature, but I'm curious what it's going to be. Is that they can't search it. Well, they can search it at night, because the fog will go away
Uh,
tonight.
it's gonna go away before
The night
their
action.
move,
Before, yeah, well, yeah, so it'll...
but they're all.
They can't move that. Wait, Valona. Never mind, I'm looking at the wrong place. Looking at Bucharest. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
I thought Bucharest was the location.
No, 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 no.
Yeah, Valona's maturing. Yeah, that's going off.
Sky's probably also kicking himself because he could have sent someone to Varna to search that fog, but he didn't, so it triggered and trapped them all in Bucharest while they were trying to heal from a mob. So Godalming went to Constanta to search it. It was a bat. It batted him into a new lair that was just placed on Bucharest. So mob triggered and hit all 3 hunters there. And then they were busy healing and supplying up, which is not unreasonable, right? But they didn't deal with Varna, so Varna was able to create a fog and trap all of them.
That's funny.
Which is what made Dracula feel free to just land in Venice.
Yeah, and CG's out of the game now, and he's gonna his wolf form back tonight. So this looks really bad for
Extremely bad.
for hunters. Yeah, it's bad.
Extremely bad for hunters. There's also some weird play earlier with like discarding a horse for Godalming, discarding, a knife from Godalming. Like, I have to imagine that he was really putting all of his eggs in the CG basket. He was trying to keep all the heavenly hosts and was willing to throw away even a horse to do that.
It's hidden schemes that help him because I'm seeing it's in the discard pile for Drac.
Hidden Schemes was
Did he use that
used early
to
in the
create the
game.
super lair?
No. Well, wait.
How is the super lair
Yes.
created? You have to go there several times.
Yes, he used Hidden Schemes with his initial Dark Call, put a second encounter in Valona. It was not cleared. It was layered, and then he went back to it. So yes, Hidden Schemes was used to create the super lair. Yep.
That's where you'd want to use the wax cylinders to see what's in there.
Yeah,
This could be nasty though.
Terminus had mentioned that in the chat earlier. Yeah, this could be nasty. It's a Hail Mary. I feel like he's gonna do it, but I'm not sure what you can really do. I guess maybe you don't. I mean, you have Wednesday move. If we assume Drac's about to get 7 points, he's gonna do the Wednesday move. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday, Tuesday.
He's CG safe now. Doesn't have to worry about it anymore unless he draws the entire deck.
Yeah, he's CG safe. I guess maybe with this circumstance, maybe you don't go in. I mean, you have like 5 days. Just book it west.
He should not send Van Helsing in unless he has even if he has a heroic leap, it could be dangerous.
Yeah, and if that play worked out, I was speculating that like maybe you take the day fight and then you have a heroic leap at night. Okay, he's going.
Oh, he's taking it. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, reckless. We know that.
I'm also curious as to what else is going to mature in Varna or Valona other than the Vamp.
Could be a
This would be
hoax.
critical too.
Could be a desecrated soil.
Yeah.
Could be one of everything.
In a weird way, if Helsing can survive this combat and then heroic leap, it might tempt
Dodge.
CombatWombat into trying to kill him, into staying in Venice, which
This
could.
is where this gets hard. If he mesmerizes, it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
Fine. Let's look in here. Can you tell me what teams these players are on?
Yes. So Skybreaker is on Team Dark Horse. Going to this week, they were in 10th place, and Plotting to Punch I think was in 7th. Um, that is CombatWombat's team, Plotting to Punch.
And card don't shoot.
That is CombatWombat's teammate.
Okay.
And Skybreaker's teammate is Azagal or Adam.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel bad for Dark Horse.
Yeah, they've had
But they're getting better.
yeah, they had a rough
Skybreaker,
go
I
of it and
played
some
him all
near
tournament.
misses. Yeah. Yes, you did. Indeed.
There's plotting. Oh!
Dodge. Their team name's Plotting to
4
Punch.
points.
Got a punch. That's the name. Plotting to Punch.
It's plotting to dodge.
Plotting to dodge.
Dodging to plot.
He's trying to dodge to live when he should be plotting, punching to plot. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Dodging to escape. That's where you want to have. I always imagine, like, I always think of ideal scenarios. The best encounter to have against the Reckless Vampire is Garlics.
Yeah.
Like 2 Garlics and a Crucifix or something.
Yeah.
But it doesn't help with Drac, though. But it helps with the vampires, and they become literally, they can't do anything. They're crippled.
Yeah, that's so true. So true.
So I think I forgot who I played. It might have been Terminus early on. He had like double garlic in a Drac fight, and it was the most obnoxious. It's like, what can I do?
Terminus is the one person who is in the chat here. He's been chiming in from time to time.
Yeah, he's the one who figures out my combat. That's why I didn't want to deal with him in the game we played, because he guesses everything I do.
Yeah, he does have that kind of spidey sense.
Yeah.
I don't know if I guess your combat. I think I guess your movements. Okay.
Oh, well, you got my movements, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So he doesn't need to use that plot power yet.
Yeah, but that's 2 more damage. So he's going to take 2 more. We'll take at least 2 more.
So now
we're down to 4 guaranteed.
Now Heavenly Host is going to mean Helsing dies. Or
yep.
Heavenly Host, excuse me. Heroic Leap would mean Helsing dies, because Helsing is almost certainly going to take another 2 damage here, given the plotting action. So.
Right, he's just got to keep playing Strength.
Yeah.
I mean, he could play a claw again. Maybe Van Helsing takes a gun out.
Yeah, I mean, if...
Has he played the 2nd Strength yet?
No.
Fang and...
Pistol, okay. So now he is in range where Heroic Leap would be a suicide.
Let's see if he has Holy Bullets.
Would you use it? If you do?
Yeah. To survive. And you take care of that rumored vampire.
But now you're going to fight Dracula without it, so...
Yeah, I guess you see if you have an escape route.
Yeah.
But I don't think you would go into Dracula with an escape route.
Especially when you just traded.
Yep.
If you did have the escape route, you'd play it on the Reckless, right?
Yep. So, and Drac can't stay for the morning because he doesn't have any cards to hold him there. But he will. He will, because Valona will mature.
That's true.
And he'll get Dark Call and hide back. So he get Dark Call on him as insult to injury.
Terminus says CW got this, I think, and I think he's probably right, but the only thing I could think could go wrong is, you know, if he doesn't think he needs the wolf form yet, and the Hunter's renewed vigor, chartered carriage over him, and get a good combat. But you're gonna need multiple chartered carriages for that. You're gonna need so much movement.
He's in the wolf form after this. And he might mature Desecrated Soil. What's in discard for the Drac encounters right now?
Both bats.
Fog.
1 fog.
2 Recklesses.
There could be another fog. They could still stay there. What if the other fog's in there?
Oh my god. That's so funny. Yeah.
It could just be the 3 of them trapped more. There's the Heroic Leap. Okay. Now he's dead. So Drac is probably going to go up to 12 influence here.
Well, yeah, and he's going to feed.
He can't feed. He already did.
Oh, yeah, your feed is fed. Sorry, that's right. That won't go away.
So, if there's another fog that goes off and traps them for another 2 turns, it's just going to be so painful to just watch the game drag out as Drac's on 12 influence. You know?
Yeah, that's where you need Long Night to get out of there. The one time.
Yeah. Long Night just to move these hunters to some different places.
Yep. 28 and 6. What do we got for layers? Belgrade, Sofia, and Constanta. Okay.
Yeah, there was a weird time earlier where Drac cleared Sarajevo, but then he didn't create a new layer. I think it's because like Hyde came off the trail, but you didn't need to clear the lair if it was just Hyde coming off the trail. It was very odd.
Wonder what Van Helsing's getting rid of for his event.
Yeah, I guess we'll find out soon.
We know it's a crucifix and a pistol.
Yep. And nothing else in terms of items because of the bullets. So the only question would be what are his
Oh
one.
yeah,
The only question would be what's his one remaining event.
it could be GG. Yeah, it could be because it's going to be up to 12 now. We're assuming it's going to be some kind of. Let's see how many things mature.
Yeah.
He has to go in order, otherwise he only matures one thing, which would be lame. I want to see like a bodyguard. I want to see everything in the world. There we go.
Soil.
Soil. A spy.
I don't know.
This is
a
the
good
ultimate
element.
mature.
He's a good element because of all those weird throwaways earlier.
Yeah. There should be an achievement for this, for maturing multiple events on one day.
Yeah, there really should be. Like a Steam achievement.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, okay. Yep, Godalming discards a knife. Wolves. Man.
Not target that city. Oh.
It's wild.
I want to type
wild.
"Ooh." Okay.
So Seward has a pistol and a knife.
Mina's got nothing.
Mina's got nothing or shows nothing. Godalming has nothing.
How many more encounters do we have? Is that 4?
That was 3, and a reckless.
Okay.
Wow.
That was brutal.
So we are at a Mina that... Oh, Mina had a rifle. She could have shown the rifle. That's already revealed.
It's weird, yeah.
Mina has a sense of emergency, which I suppose is helpful. Yeah, I think that CombatWombat just needs to not get cute and needs to just like wolf to Marseille or something.
Yeah, not even Vampire Lair helps.
No, there's still a few days that Drag needs to survive. So yeah, if I were him, I would just play it really conservatively.
Yeah.
He could go to Rome and try to kill Helsing, and if he has trouble, go to C. There is Rufus in play though.
Yeah, but you don't have to worry about Florence maturing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I agree with the wolf form to 45.
Okay.
That's where I guarantee he's going there. I guarantee you.
He does. He is CombatWombat. That would be aggressive and kind of his style.
See if he moves out. Another Drac win, possibly. Drac has won a lot this week after the Hunters.
Yeah, 9 out of 10 games with Hunters last week.
And Pizza Wizard got his first loss this week.
Yeah, I mean I did too.
But you were Hunters though, right? No, you were Drac. So you're the one Drac that died.
Yeah. But
is that right?
I'm gonna savor my 3-0 since I went 0-7 to start the last team tournament.
I started 0 I think I also started 0-7. My first tournament ever I played. Then I beat Pirate Joe. Then I beat Quincy. Then I lost again for the last round.
Yeah, it takes a few lumps to start learning the game. All right.
Well, I thought it was okay. Will Van Helsing move out to Dracula?
We didn't see a renewed vigor, so maybe at least then you know where he is. Of course, he could just kill you.
Yeah, I would want to maximize my IDS if I were Drac, and I wouldn't have wolf formed. I would have just walked, and then I would have walked again. Then I would have misdirected the location that I walked to. to make it even more confusing. All right, I don't think 11 is possible.
As the Drac Wolfram
For, yeah,
location?
for
No.
Drek can't be there, no.
Correct, he cannot.
Options are... He has a lot of options.
Uh,
59... You can circle from 59, 58,
3, 4, 5, 6,
41.
7, 8, 9, 10. There are 10 spaces he could be in right now.
Yeah. He
Count
did
them.
not move Van Helsing out.
No. So we'll take another item.
I think the game glitched on me. I don't know if it worked for anybody else, but if you do Renewed Vigor, I played a game with CombatWombat last night, and Van Helsing died like he did here, and actually Seward died, so he was in the hospital, and I supplied with a Renewed Vigor action, but then it wouldn't let me pass.
Huh.
It made me move on to him,
Weird.
so maybe move out.
Huh. Yeah, I guess that's a situation they haven't,
Addressed. So this is a weird situation.
Yeah.
Because who plays Renewed Vigor with a hunter in the hospital?
Yeah. Oh. No scan? I would have scanned. I get that it's an important, point of
Yeah,
health.
then you get a 59, 58. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I'd be tempted to go back to the castle and heal.
Yeah, I mean, he probably didn't go to 59 or 58, but I think I probably scanned anyway.
Yeah, but I guess it's Marseille, if you're going to be safe.
Yeah. Probably, although Zurich wouldn't be too bad either, since CG is out. But Marseille is just like, if they get even remotely close to, you can go to C.
Is it possible he can feed before the game's over? To get more IDS? I don't think so.
I think that you would need to, like, plan it out. Like, go to
he could
C.
dark call.
You'd have to go to C and then land, like, the turn before you would win, and then feed on the turn you would win, or something like that.
Or dark call and then feed.
Oh yeah.
Because dark call doesn't move the thing.
So
doesn't move the Fury.
Yeah. So it moves. Feed is here. Friday move. Saturday move. Sunday move. Actually, you wouldn't need to. You would just do the feed on your Monday move.
Yep. I consider it if I were combat.
You would give the hunters 1 extra day to kill you, and you would gain 3 health and some IDS out of it.
Just hide underneath a reckless vampire, you're all set, and just keep fanging like a madman.
Okay.
Interesting check.
Helsing. Does Helsing still not leave? Huh.
Yeah, you can't leave till tomorrow now. You're stuck in there.
I don't think I like that. Even if, well, I get it. If you have crap items, you don't want to get to feed Drac, but you really do want to know where he is.
Ooh, these supplies are rough. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Counting Drac events. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15. 16 on top. I'm a night supply person. I night supply all the time. I think it's fun.
I've noticed.
The Worm Talent game, I gave him 5 Drac events during a tournament game.
Yikes!
That was horrible.
What week was that? Was that recent?
That was last week.
Nice.
Because we played surprising return.
Oh, I think I
Pizza
saw
Wizard.
that game.
Do you see the Pizza Wizard Mad King game? That one was nuts.
I think so.
That King got Pizza Wizard down to 1 HP in Athens.
Yeah, I do remember that. That was wild.
That's insane.
And he ended up at, like, what, 9 health at the end or something like that? He
did.
Up, yeah.
Wild. Right, because I fast forward to the end. I went, hey, good win. He's like, did you watch the game? was like, not yet. All
What are
right.
you thinking here?
Is anyone chatting with you in the video? I should actually check the
No, I
comments.
mean Terminus has from time to time, but he hasn't said anything recently. It's probably getting pretty late there. I believe Terminus is still back in Europe.
I think there's Spain, right?
Yeah.
Them, Jordy, and or Gio and Scott Sword, the Scottish players.
Yes.
Fan Sword.
That's right. Yeah, Terminus is mostly in Mexico. He's back in Spain temporarily.
All right. Well, now Van Helsing can move off if he sees something different up top here. I'd be tempted to get a drag card just to do as in Dark Halls.
Yep, that's the name of the tournament. Why not? But no, I mean, keep moving, preserve the option of feeding. Speedy Telegraph.
Ooh. And
do we have the
no
RV?
No.
So I guess he's just gonna do the
Move Van Helsing out first.
Yeah.
See if it's on the trail.
We haven't seen RV this whole game.
Rough.
Yeah.
Why is Mina going first?
I don't understand that.
Yeah, I'm confused. I would have moved Van Helsing out first to see if he's down there. And then you have to give a direction where the hunters need to go.
Yeah.
And oh, he didn't. He didn't camp.
Okay, probably went to Marseille or something like that.
Yeah, the easiest way to do. So probably in 48 right now.
Godalming is not moving, so this Speedy Telegraph isn't really doing anything. Maybe he drew Hypnosis or something?
Yeah, but
I feel like
I mean, Stewart can't move either. He's gonna sit there.
Correct, yeah. If that's what's going on here.
Stewart looks stacked. Look at him. Look at all those events.
Yeah, I'm sure Stewart is stacked. He's trading. Okay. So that's just either a scan or a Hypnosis, hopefully. Although I'm not sure how much good that's going to do you if he did just go due west.
If he comes back and wins, I'm going to be shocked.
Yeah.
You got to hide under a Reckless, but right now you have no Recklesses. Those are all in the discard pile. That's why Dark Call would have helped.
I mean, if at any point Combat goes to C, I mean, it's a 100% win. But obviously there's not that much reason to do that in this position. You can take your odds from 100% to high 90%. Okay, so it's just a regular scan.
Yeah.
So you have to assume he is somewhere in Gallia or maybe Saragossa or Barcelona.
Yeah, goes to see. You're right. It's game over.
Yeah. So I guess
you go down to six health, right?
Yes. Saturday move, Sunday move. Yeah, you go down to 6 health if you went to C right now.
Guarantees to win.
If you're the hunters, I guess you just move on the assumption, right? Oh.
And he's given up. There it is. He's done. Game over.
Okay. Yeah, that's GG.
Yeah, no point to it. We should just pass.
Yeah.
I would ask to pass. I said, can we just pass and call it? We can get the spreadsheet now. Yeah.
Oh, it's 2:20. Terminus's time. Oof. I thought it. Oh.
It really figures it's not going to do anything. Just one turn too late.
One turn too late. I mean, he probably wouldn't have landed on him last turn anyway, but he would have had a shot.
Well, you know that he didn't pour it out of 27 or Amsterdam. So 1, 2, 1, 1. Probably 1 from 8. Probably going to Ireland to settle for the rest of the game.
Yeah, that'd be fine. Yeah,
Still supplying.
None of this matters.
Well, he's going to fight with the port that he left from check 39, check 8.
The only thing that'll matter is if CombatWombat gets confused or lands now. And even that probably doesn't matter.
Laharve makes this. Yeah, it can't be Laharve. 1, 2. Well, how's that possible? Unless
Yeah.
you teleported.
Yeah, that's a
1,
mistake.
2.
That's
The
impossible.
only option is 8 or 39.
It could have been non.
2.
So yeah,
Could have also could
8,
have been Barcelona
4.
too.
Yep.
Yep.
Or he could have done something wacky and stayed more local and went to Zurich, Geneva, Marseille or something, but there's not much
That's
reason
right.
to do that, yeah.
You could have gone Zagreb, right? You could have gone Zagreb down. You could be in 55.
That would be wild if he did something like that, but that is technically possible.
Yeah, if I were playing the game, I would ask him to pass. That's what I did in my game with Wormtalent in the New Blood when he knew I was in Granada. I said, "Do you have renewed vigor?" He's like, "Yeah." Or, do you have constant granite? I said, "Yeah, I have it." I said, "Then pass, please. And let's end the game."
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Not gonna do anything.
Doesn't do anything, yep.
Done nothing. Because it's still 3 points.
Yep. You're just... The only hope that Skybreaker has here is if Combat makes some really wacky mistake and lands now.
Yeah.
And even then, you'd have to guess correctly where the landing spot was.
Okay,
Or
8,
scouts.
4. What do you
8,
think?
4.
I'm thinking 8. 8. You're thinking 4?
I'd say
For
4.
fun? Alright.
I'd say 4.
Alright, let's see what it is. Alright.
Catalan ending.
Or it could be 35. If you want, or 55 if you want to be nuts.
55. Oh, no,
Yeah,
no, I'm not going to bet on that.
Go back to Valona for a 4th time.
Terminus is saying CombatWombat is becoming an excellent track, and I completely agree.
Oh, Terminus, you're still up? Bordeaux
yes,
and Marseille.
Bordeaux
So 4?
Marseille, so that means it's either Barcelona, which it probably is, or a weird Marseille will form, then Milan, Genoa, or something. It's like these
yeah, it's Barcelona. I think you win that one.
I think I do win, although Terminus said it first, so I'm going to give him the lion's share of the credit.
Yeah. Also, he could have left from Genoa.
It is, yeah, that's possible. I wouldn't bet on that, but that would be
no sea combat.
Would be entertaining.
Oh, first time my friend and I played, we played Fury of Dracula. We did a fight at sea because we didn't know that Drac couldn't fight at sea.
That's funny. Huh.
It's like, oh, combat. We're on boats.
True pirate Drac.
Yeah. It's like, how does this game work? I also played it so that the hunters had to do a search action to see if he was in that city because we didn't know how to play it. It's like, was he in the city?
Wow.
So we gave the hunters this huge handicap of the wrong way to do it.
That is too funny. Which, for new players, the hunters don't need that handicap.
No.
Especially, okay.
And?
What a surprise.
Mediterranean.
So that means it was Barcelona. Locked. Yeah. Barcelona confirmed.
Yeah.
Do you ever play or watch Age of Empires 2?
No.
Games? The big tournament. I used to be more into it than I am, but the big tournament for Age of Empires 2 is called Hidden Cup, and all the best players have hidden identities. They're given random monikers, and so part of the fun as the tournament goes on is trying to watch them and guess based on their play styles which player, El Cid, Tokugawa, which player is behind those masks, basically.
That'd be fun. Do a Fury of Dracula tournament like that.
And so they say,
yeah.
Viper confirmed, Hera confirmed, whenever they see some little tick that's like a tell for that player. So, yeah. Barcelona confirmed.
Yeah. Confirmed.
Confirmed.
Yeah, I go to 1. Is there any way anyone can get to 1? 1, 2. Sense of emergency and...
I wouldn't mess around.
Yeah, it's dangerous. Yeah.
Having thrown away games at the end like that, I just go 1 more sea space, then land next turn.
Yeah. Maybe you should not Wolfram in Ireland.
If he does land in 1 Alicante, then
you can get hit. I mean, he can get there.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, he's
Doesn't
not
matter.
risking it.
We'll have a calm ending. Drac will end with 6 health, and this is gonna be
You
a
can put it
win
into the
for
spreadsheet.
the Wombat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's guaranteed now. I mean, unless again he screws something up and goes one more C move.
Kills himself.
But I think I can put in the spreadsheet now. Mystios is long gone, or it would be if he were ever here. This probably isn't good for tiebreaker points, but just playing it safe for anyone watching.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is your
I'm not
game.
going to type anything. Yep. It is. It's over.
I'm gonna be on my phone, like ready to punch in the numbers before we even get the post game form.
It's a tournament. I can't tell him that. He's got to figure it out himself.
Oh, what's he saying?
I believe I win if I land, right? I can't answer that. You got to know how to play the game.
Sky tells him, yeah.
Okay, that's fine. They can do that. I would be like, if you want to win, keep moving by C and watch what happens.
Oh, shit. Thank you for the compliment of Pretty sweating profusely. You'll get your last 3 influence. Yep, that's correct. Yeah. Well, we have a lot of good sportsman-like people in this community, and Skybreaker is definitely one of them. So,
yep,
I respect that. Respect that a lot.
Yeah, Skybreaker and Combat are both equally funny.
Yeah.
Skybreaker is the best with the gifts. He's the gift master.
Yeah. And just it's fun having new people in the community who have like a good sense of humor, and Combat is definitely among them. Maybe chief among them.
Yeah.
All right.
Got dinner to attend.
You do? Or
no, I'm checking what he's writing there in the chat.
Oh yeah, Wombat does. All these folks in Pacific time. Us all here in the East Coast are probably almost ready for bed.
Yeah, I'm up past my bedtime. I was gonna play a game.
Yeah.
We'll see. Truth usually wakes up now, or it's when he comes for his game. So Truth XVC.
Yeah, maybe a classic Truth Dracula game here on this fine Tuesday night. See if that happens.
Yeah, we'll see.
So this is Team Dark Horse as
Plotting.
Hunters.
Yeah.
Versus Plotting. I'm gonna type in 0, 1, 13, 6, 2.
Messages. I just feel bad. I feel like I'm getting just absolutely demolished right now, and I don't know what I'm supposed to do about it. This is disappointing. What did the messages say? Why is Strider here? No. Oh no, this is not going to be a good PR move. This is the first.
I can't stop laughing whenever I hear it. I just think it's so funny.
That's for you.
Yeah. It always makes me laugh.
Congrats, Combat.
Yep, GG, well played.
Now we can write that in the chat.
This. Catch up on Discord yet. Yeah, I'm glad we were able to catch this one. They tricked me with the 11 p.m. in the calendar. That's why I didn't catch it, because it said 11 o'clock in the calendar, and it's not like military time. But I'm glad it was. I'm glad it was indeed tonight, so I could do it instead of so I could do it. So it's a fun one. You don't see too many mega layers like that nowadays. All right, well, Strider, my friend, thank you for hopping in.
Of course.
Any final words before we close this out?
Final words. GG. Both sides were great sportsmanship. We love seeing it.
Yep. Absolutely.
That was an insane. If I were to call the video, I would call it the super lair. That's what I would call this. I've never seen 4 encounters mature. What do you mature? A wolves, a spy, a soil, and a reckless.
Yeah.
Yeah. He just needed a bodyguards and a mob for the full and the saboteur for laughs.
And the fact that he matured the fog before that and trapped 3 hunters so they couldn't even do anything about it other than sit there and take the spy and the wolves is just wild.
Yep.
And the fact that Godalming got batted into that situation, it was just so flawless execution.
Yep. Well done. It was very fun. It's fun to watch that.
Yeah. And it's fun to watch these guys play. It's always fun to see new people come in and start winning some games early. You don't always have that luxury, so nice to see like new players come in and already come in being competitive. Very impressive. All right,
Yep.
well,
Oh, sounds good. I'm going to say you lowered his IDS, though.
yeah.
So it wasn't as bad of a loss.
With that, I'm going to cut the stream out.
Yep.
So thanks for joining me. Thanks,
Of
Terminus,
course.
for watching.
Yeah,
If anyone else is
Yep.
lurking, thanks to you as well.